Once again, very lucky to have Schmier from Destruction on the line with me tonight. Schmier, thanks for taking the time and calling me tonight.
Thank you, Mel. My pleasure. My pleasure. Great to be back.
It's great to have you back. I've spoken to you now more than I have with any other touring artist. How about that?
Oh my God. That sounds good, of course.
Right, I spoke to you last regarding Destruction right when Under Attack was about to come out in 2016. How's that album been performing for you?
Yeah, it was actually a really long tour. We've been out in Europe twice. We've been to the States, South America, to Russia. We've been playing a lot of shows with this album. And we still have some songs in the set list when we come to Australia. But of course, now we have this best of album out since a while, thrash anthems too. So we also put one of those old classics into the set list, So it's going to be a good mix, I think.
How did you go with doing thrash anthems too? Because that was classic Destruction songs re-recorded. Did you change anything too much?
I mean, actually, you would think it's very easy to recall some old songs, but those were mostly songs from the second row. Songs that the kids were asking for and that we didn't play for many years. Some of those songs never been performed ever. And so we had to really dig deep into the history and, find out the lyrics again, because there was no lyric sheets anymore for some songs. And so it was actually much more work than you were like, what the fuck? We thought we were going to go to the studio and just record this stuff like bang, without rehearsal, bang, like some old songs, no problem. But then also a lot of the old songs have a lot of crazy riffs and a lot of crazy timings. And so we took a little longer, but actually it was great fun, because basically you recall your past, you recall your history when you record songs again. And I think I know that some fans don't like this, but for the bands, it's a great refreshment. It's a great remembering, and for us now we have, of course, all those songs that we can bring back into the set list that are actually fun to play and that we tested in the studio, and of course that we recorded again in a very respectful way, I think. I mean, everybody who heard the recordings said, I was scared that the songs would be slaughtered, but no, we didn't. We make them sound fresh again, I think.
Yeah, okay. Did the more modern recording techniques have any real influence on the way the songs turned out?
Not really. I mean, we have a way to record, like basically Mike and me, we always record together before anybody, before even the studio. We have our own little recording system. So we record all the demos and all the songs we write and everything beforehand. So we have an idea of what's coming up, and that's what we did too this time. We recorded everything beforehand together and, checked it out and then sent it to our drummer, and then we went to the studio. So we have a procedure. We have a procedure how we work best together. We don't like to work under pressure. So that's why we like to prepare ourselves before we go to the studio already.
Yeah, okay. Now, you mentioned the long tour that you did for the Under Attack album. How do you go with those long tours? Because I got to tell you, my wife and I just came back from a month overseas, and we didn't go to too many different places, but I said to her a couple of times, I said, how do these bands do it when they're living out of a suitcase for months on end, playing, one night in one city and then the next night in the next city? I mean, it wouldn't be possibly as bad if it was a tour bus, but getting on a plane, and how do you cope with that?
Yeah, I guess we gotta be a gypsy to do that. Not everybody likes it, and that's why a lot of bands also break up. Because not everybody can be in the road. Some people, they're getting homesick, and then also there's tension when too many people are together for too long. So we usually do that. The good recipe for that is, for us, we never do tours that are too long. That means we do like maximum 4 weeks. We did 5 before, but not longer than this. And then you go home, then you socialize again at home at least a week or two, and then you recharge your batteries, and then you can go for the next shows. Yeah, okay. Back in the day, we used to do long tours. Like we did like 3.5 months once in the United States back in the 80s. That was bad. I mean, in a van, not in a tour bus, in a fucking bloody van, So I couldn't do this anymore, But at the end, what pays off is the show. You're there for the show, and
Yeah,
when you
that's
play
it.
and perform, and the fans, and you see the happy faces, and you have this energy rush and this adrenaline rush on stage, it pays off. And of course, I'm in the lucky position also to see a lot of beautiful places, I don't know if I would have ever come to Australia because it's so far away and it's also pretty expensive to fly it down under. So I don't know if I would have ever come to Australia without music, So it's like this with a lot of countries. So I like to see the world,
Do you get to do much sightseeing, like on a tour? Because, I mean, I've spoken to some bands and they land, hotel, gig, hotel, up in the morning, gone. That must be a bit of a drag.
Yeah, once we were young, we did it like this too. The problem is that every day off costs you money.
Yeah.
Every day off is not bringing you money; it's costing you money, and the budgets are tight. But we actually nowadays always trying to fill in some dates to have a little space for sightseeing, a little space also to rest because on tour you need some rest,
Yeah.
And it's what we're doing in Australia. Before Australia, we have a pretty tight schedule in Asia. It's going to be even some overnight flies, in between Asian countries where there's not going to be so much sleep. But in Australia, we kept some days off here and there, and we also stay 2 days longer just to enjoy and sightsee a bit and meet some friends and, hang out. I think it's important when you grow older. Those things are more important. Of course, it's always a budget thing, but money is not everything. It's also important to have a good time.
Yeah, you got to be alive to spend it. That's the thing.
Exactly.
Now, Mr. Dramovic has left the band. Now, when did
you have said his name in perfect Polish? So do you have East European roots?
No,
because everybody's like Dramo, what's his name, Dramo or something, Yeah, Dramo.
I don't have any problems with his surname, but I was mucking around with his Christian name before. Last time I spoke to you about Destruction, I did ask you, and you did tell me, but I forgot.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to try and do it because I do it wrong. But
yeah, his name is a pretty much of a challenge. Yeah, his name is Wawsiniec Dramovic. Yeah, it's very Polish and unspeakable for normal people. Yeah, it took me some time.
Very Polish. Now he's left the band for family reasons. When did this come about? Was it expected?
Yeah, it was expected. He kind of what happened is he split up with his wife some years ago, and they had a kid, and somehow they had a reunion after a while. And when he came back, I knew it would get tight for us. And then his wife was pregnant again with a second kid. And that was when Randy Black helped out for us the first time on the American tour, Sepultura, some 2 years ago. And at that time, I knew the time would come that he has different priorities, and that he's trying to be there for the family. And I was waiting for the day that he's going to tell us he wants to stay home with his family, and his kids are still very young, so we understand, of course. Of course, he's throwing away his international career this way, but of course, family first. We all have to accept that, and we understand, of course. But we're all very sad, including him. But when you have a family, of course, you have to make a decision sometimes.
And Randy Black is filling in, from what I read online, until you get a worthy successor. Now, is that the deal? He's just helping you out, or is he full-time in the band now?
No, he's he's helping out right now. Of course, it's also his chance to get the seat in the band. We give him the whole tour, the whole month, and then we're also going to play the festivals in summer with us. And during the festival season, we have some more space, and we're going to test some other drummers also. We have some friends of ours that we have in mind that could also fit very well, and we want to just see who fits best. Sometimes the playing is great, but the personal side is not so good. You got to get along when you're on tour. And Mr. Dramovic had a great personality. He was so easy to deal with and such a nice guy. So the guy after him has to be at least in the same vein. We want to have a good time on tour. We don't want to have egos and rock stars and bullshitters. So, but of course, it's Randy's. If Randy's doing great, we might go with him. We know each other for a long time, and he has done this American tour with us before, so he knows a lot of the songs already, and we know each other. So that's of course a little advantage, maybe.
And he's been going all right so far? Like, how long's he been on with the band this time?
No, just actually the first show we play with Randy will be in Asia in 2 weeks or so. Yeah, it's basically that we just played the last show with Dramovic with Waber.
Right.
This last weekend. It was this last show. So we started rehearsing with Randy the next days, and then we play the first shows in Asia. So when we come to Australia, we will be nice and tight. So don't worry.
Yeah. Now you're coming to Australia very soon. Now, one thing I did notice when I looked at the tour dates is that you're doing it the proper way: Perth, Adelaide, Melbourne, Canberra, Sydney, Brisbane.
Yeah, great.
So congratulations on whoever organised that.
We have to say thanks to our booking agent in Australia. So he also, we said right away we want to have as much shows as possible. We want to finally play in Perth, and also we want to have some time in between the days to do a little sightseeing and stuff. And he accepted all our needs and booked a nice proper tour. So we're looking forward to that.
Excellent. So tour starts very soon in Asia. You're going to be getting into it over there. Then you'll have a long flight down to Perth, and then it's on for Australian audiences in, 4 weeks.
4 weeks, yeah. We start in Asia in 2 weeks, and then in about 4 weeks we're in Australia. Finally back. Yeah.
Been a while since you've been here. I don't think have you played Adelaide before? I can't remember. I've never.
No. We didn't play Perth, and we never played Adelaide. So it's those two are the first time, and it's of course very exciting to come to new places. And of course, when we played in Australia before, we were like sad that we couldn't, But it's of course a big country, and when the booking agent doesn't book you there, it's difficult to get there. So we're happy that this is the biggest, the longest, the most shows we ever played in Australia and on one tour. So, and the last tour is a long time ago. It's I think 6 years or so.
I'd like to thank you on behalf of Adelaide audiences for coming here, because we get skipped over a bit. So it's good that a band has actually come here. So it's
we got to play some. We got to play extra long for Adelaide, of course.
Yeah. Excellent. Schmier, absolutely magnificent talking to you again. Can't wait for Destruction to tour Australia and Adelaide, especially on the 21st of April. Can't wait. Thanks for talking to me again tonight, and we'll see you soon.
Same here. Finally, Adelaide. We're looking forward, and you're going to kick some ass, I promise.
Excellent. You have a great night, mate, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you. Thank you, brother. Thank you.